I'm going to plug a few dates. Friday, July 2nd, I'm going to be at the Hollywood Comedy here in Los Angeles, 8 p.m. show. Monday, July 5th, I'm going to be at the Universal Bar and Grill, 8:30 p.m. show. You don't need tickets for that. You just show up. Friday, July 9th, 2021, I'm going to be back at the Hollywood Comedy in Los Angeles, 7 p.m. show. You can look for the Eventbrite link on their website. Wednesday, July 14th, I'm going to be at the Side Yard Farm and Grill in Portland, Oregon, 6 p.m. You could go to my website, click on the link, and you will be able to purchase tickets. Friday, July 16th, I'm going to be at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank in the Yoo-Hoo Room, 9 p.m. You can click on the link on my website for tickets there. Welcome to K-Drama School. I'm your host, Grace Jung, and class is now in session. Today is June 26th, 2021. I am recording this on a Saturday. I had kind of a fucked up week because I thought I was at the finish line with my short film, my short documentary film, my directorial debut. It's called JNS Auto, and it took me like 5 years to finish. I thought I was at the finish line. All I had to do was get sound mixing complete. Sound mixing is just basically cleaning up the audio and making sure that the sound is good. Sometimes they'll add sound. Sometimes they'll, do something with effects, whatever they need to do to make it auditorily pleasant. Okay. Sound is very important in cinema. And I worked with a great sound mixer because UCLA told me that I have a $2,000 budget funding in order to complete sound mixing. So I fully trusted that, and I hired the best from their vendor list, from UCLA's vendor list, and she did an amazing job. And she was now like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to deliver. Just send me a purchase order and I will, make sure that this invoice gets processed. I was like, awesome. I reach out to UCLA, to the administrative staff at the film department, and I say, how can I get a purchase order? And they were like, we're not going to give you this money. You need to pay for it yourself. I'm like, what? Because I would not have hired a $2,000 sound mixer if I knew that I was supposed to pay out of pocket. The only reason why I hired a $2,000 sound mixer from their vendor list is because they told me explicitly that they have this funding for me. So that was a bit of a shock to my system. It made me doubt everything again. I mean, the other thing too is just like, I just got back from an 8-day trip with my mom, I was vacationing with my mom, and it was difficult. I mean, it was very challenging. There were moments when I thought I was just like not gonna make it. It's very saddening to admit to oneself that the person who triggers suicidal thoughts and depression is your own mother. I mean, that's a very, very difficult thing to admit, but that is the truth. I find my mother very challenging, but, I also noticed that there's been some self-growth within me, and there's been a lot of growth and effort on her end too. And in spite of that growth, it's still a challenge, right? So getting this news from UCLA did not help. It did not help my feelings, did not help having faith in humanity. And, it just made everything seem pointless again. Such as the artist's lot. I have a GoFundMe campaign. It is on my Instagram at HJ. You can just look up GoFundMe and type my name in, Grace Jung, and you'll probably find it. I will put my GoFundMe campaign on the website for K-Drama School. And if you want to donate, I would really appreciate your help, your patronage. It's not easy being an artist. I think being a filmmaker is perhaps the hardest because It requires a lot of capital. It requires a lot of reliance on others. And that makes shit tricky. I thought I could do this all by myself, and I did it for the most part all by myself. I mean, I'm the one who shot it, I'm the one who edited the whole thing. But, I needed to get additional shots, and I had to hire DPs for that. I had to get color correction, I had to get sound mixing, and that's something I'm not able to do. I have to rely on others who have the skill set to do that. And when I'm relying on those others with their skill sets, I'm going to pay them because artists deserve to get paid for their work. Unlike how fucking America makes us believe. What we do is work. It is valuable, meaningful work. It is good work. It is work that is necessary in all societies. It's part of culture, okay? That's what art is. It's the heart of every society, and yet Americans just don't know how to treat us well, and that depresses the bejesus out of me. And I have not been in a good place this past week. I'm trying to get out of it. The show I'm going to talk about this week is called Master's Son, and it is written by the Hong sisters. They are known as Hong Jung-eun and Hong Mi-ran, respectively, and they are Korea's most well-known sister duo writing partnership. Oftentimes you get like the brothers, right? Like the Coen brothers. They used to be the Wachowski brothers. Now they're the Wachowski sisters. I guess you have that. But you don't really find a lot of cisgender sister duo writing partners or sister duo directors. I mean, that's very, very hard to come by. So I'm glad to know that South Korea has the Hong sisters, and they've written a bunch of hits. They wrote The Greatest Love, which I covered in, I believe, episode 7 with Kimberly Clark. They also wrote Hotel Del Luna, which stars IU, but that show is a show I could not finish watching. I'm sorry. I mean, they're very good with romantic comedy like that. They have nailed it. But sci-fi, fantasy, I don't know. Master's Son is a unique one, though, because it is technically fantasy, because you have ghosts and stuff, but it's mostly a rom-com. And it stars Kong Hyo-jin and So Ji-sup, who I love. Like, I love both of these actors so much. So I'm gonna watch it. The Hong sisters, they also wrote Hwayugi, which I couldn't finish. They also wrote My Girlfriend is a Nine-Tailed Fox and the show You're Beautiful, neither of which I have seen. They were writing for shows that have been airing since the year 2005, starting with Sassy Girl Chunhyang, which is a retelling of the Chunhyangjeon, which is also a pansori, known as Chunhyangga. Pansori is a form of oral musical storytelling. It is a traditional form of Korean singing, and the training for it is very rigorous. It is a dwindling art form, and there's actually a black Cameroonian French pansori singer named Laure Mafo. She has some following, and she's also an honorary ambassador between Korea and Africa, which I find very dope. Check out some of her tunes. I mean, she's pretty great. But pansori is a very difficult kind of singing method. I mean, it essentially you're just kind of taxing your vocal cords. It is very guttural, and it is a very expressive form of singing. And personally, whenever I hear pansori, I'm always very deeply emotionally moved. And I'm oftentimes not sure like what it is that's being moved inside of me. I just know that I am very moved when I hear pansori. So that's sort of a special thing for me. What can I say about The Master's Son? All I can say is that it's kind of a gimmicky show. The Greatest Love was such a good drama, and it was just like the chemistry between the actors on that show with Cha Seung-won and Kong Hyo-jin was just so good. And Cha Seung-won was so funny in that drama. And I think So Ji-sup felt a lot of pressure to level up, on Cha Seung-won's level. But the thing is, like, even though both Cha Seung-won and So Ji-sup started out as models in their career, Cha Seung-won's acting ability and his comedic timing and sensibility is so much sharper than So Ji-sup. Like Seo Ji-sup is a very good dramatic actor. He likes comedy. I know he has a lot of comedic friends, and I've seen him on variety shows every now and then. But Cha Seung-won is something very special. I mean, he is far more versatile. I would say he's a better actor than Seo Ji-sup, and so Seo Ji-sup's acting in The Master's Son sort of reflected a lot of Cha Seung-won's acting from The Greatest Love. And that kind of annoyed me, honestly, because, I'm all about originality. Like, I don't want to see duplicates. And Seo Ji-sup was really attempting at a carbon copy of Cha Seung-won's performance as Kook Do-jin. Like I said, this is a gimmicky show, but it's fun. It's fun to watch. Kong Hyo-jin was very good. There were some awkward moments and some awkward scenes. I don't know who to credit for those awkward moments, but maybe it's just a combination of like things just not gelling, the direction and the writing and the performance. Like sometimes they just didn't gel quite right. There was also a lot of CGI to exhibit the ghosts. Like basically Kong Hyo-jin's character is able to see ghosts and they terrorize her all the time. And whenever she touches Seo Ji-sup's character, she's no longer haunted by these ghosts. Like she doesn't see them anymore. So it's like he is the person who guides her or takes care of her. Like he's kind of got this like knight in shining armor sort of persona. He's part of that archetype, I would say. And the interesting thing is, though, like a lot of these ghosts, although they initially appear scary, especially to Kong Hyo-jin's character, who freaks out whenever she sees them, the thing about it is like there's always this issue. Like the ghosts have some unresolved issue, or they're still hanging on to something from their past life when they were still living, or they have a message to deliver. And Kong Hyo-jin's character is there to sort of help them through that. So in a way, Kong Hyo-jin's character has sort of this shamanistic element. I mean, she's cloaked with Korean shamanistic sort of indigeneity, but quite westernized too, like she has crosses everywhere. She wears a big cross, and like she's always trying to fend off these ghosts through Christianity, which is totally futile, because the ghosts are there anyway. I mean, they're not affected by Christianity. And I don't think that's something that the Hong sisters are deliberately writing so that we're reading into that sort of religious conflict. But it's there, and I see it. All in all, if you just want to see a fun, cute, gimmicky rom-com with a ghost story backdrop, this is the one to see. I personally enjoyed it. I enjoyed it only because Kong Hyo-jin and Seo Ji-sup are in there, and Seo Ji-sup is so fucking fine. Today I'm going to talk to a local LA comedian who I really adore. Her name is Alexis Bradby. And I love Alexis because she has always got this positive, upbeat, energetic, joyful spirit. She's nothing like me on stage. She's she's got energy, she's bright, there's joy leaking out of her, and it's just pleasant to be around. My aura when I'm on stage is I'm very deadpan and I'm serious at times, and I could get gloomy and dark, but Alexis is the antithesis of that. So I really adore her for that. I appreciate her for that, and I think she's a wonderful part of our LA comedy community. So let's talk to Alexis Bradby. How is it down there?
It is insane. Like literally, I don't have a car with me, so like I'm just totally. And my mom was like, "I'm gonna pick you up," and I was like, "I told you I have to do something at 2," and it was like 1:47, and I was like, "We are not gonna make." Like it was
You're panicking.
chaos.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and my
yeah,
phone's dying, so I was like, "How am I even?" I was like, "I'm gonna have to send her an email." I was like,
yeah,
Ugh,
yeah.
"We're here."
This whole thing. Where in the South are you right now?
I am in Louisville, Tennessee.
Mm,
Let's see.
very nice. Very nice. Yeah, shit. I I Tennessee. Yeah, I actually dated a guy from Memphis.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably like the only part in Tennessee you should date a guy from, and that's
Really?
yeah. I don't know, and even that's questionable. But yeah, the rest of it is
Really?
very different. I feel like Memphis is its own culture. I mean, not really. It's still the South, but it's different.
It's like a little more hip, maybe.
Yeah, more diversity, and not
Yeah.
even that much diversity. Just black people there.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a
Yeah.
lot of anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. The most diverse you can get is just like all black people,
Yeah.
basically.
That's all it goes for Tennessee. The rest is just white and then some black people and that's it. Like when I
Yeah.
moved to LA, I was in serious culture shock because I hadn't met a lot of Asian people growing up. So like I
Yeah.
was really ignorant about a lot of things and I was
Yeah. Yeah.
just really
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, this is cool." But also I was saying a lot of stupid stuff because I just didn't know.
Yeah. That happens. But you're black, so you get a pass. I mean, it's like, because like, yeah, I mean, the guy I dated, he was a black man from Memphis, and there were times that he would say like ignorant shit to me, and I would just be like, you know what, black man, like you get to say that to me, it's okay because I love you, but like don't go around saying that shit like openly. You're gonna look like an ass.
Yeah.
But like if he had been white and he said that, it would have just been like over, relationship over, like this is over, we're done, you know. Yeah, like with Lexi Grace too. Like she would sometimes like call me Jin, like the other Korean
Oh.
comic, and I'd just be like, and I would just look at her. I'm like, I know what just happened. You and I both know what happened, but it's okay, Like fucking Kanisha Bell, she did the same thing. She called me Jin one time. Like we were
Dang.
at a mic. She kept saying Jin, Jin. Oh, bitch, you're gonna ignore me now, Jin. Hello. And like I heard her, but I didn't turn around because she wasn't calling my name. And then somebody goes, "That's Grace," and she was, "Oh shit, my bad, Grace." And I turned around. I was like, "Yes, Kanisha." you know, it's
If I'm
fine.
unsure, I just don't say anything. Like if I don't want
Yeah, you just keep calling them Ace. It's like, "Hey, Ace, what's
No,
good?"
literally, I'd rather
Yeah,
do that than like look like I hate doing that because I've done it before. Especially like I said at
we've all
USC,
done it.
like I was around a lot of different Asian people for the first time in my
Yeah,
life, and I was doing it so much,
yeah,
I just like I had enough
yeah,
embarrassment that I was like,
yeah.
I'll never do this again.
But like, like I've done it too. Like I mixed up like Rosie Tran with Robin Tran. Like
Oh.
I was introducing Robin Tran to stage, and I almost fucking called her Rosie Tran. Like that would have been, And then like I did that with Kimberly Clark and fucking Crystal Adams. Like called
Oh dang,
I called
dang.
I called Crystal. I was like, "Oh, Kimberly," and then like Crystal's sister was like, "Kimberly," and I was like, "Oh my god, I did the thing. I
At
did.
least
I'm
you have the
sorry."
names. Those names are all similar, so that's one
It's
saving grace for
similar. They
you.
start with K's. Like come on, comics, black women, and in the other cases, like both R's, like comics. Asian women. Yeah, I was just like, all right. But that's the thing. Like it could happen to anybody, and that's okay. I think it's fine. I don't think it's anything to like shame somebody or like end their careers over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've been seeing too much of that. So anyway, so like what brought you back down south?
I just well, not to get sad, but I had like a lot of like deaths and stuff in my family that like I
Oh, I'm
wasn't able,
sorry.
and a murder. The murder is really what got me because it's like the deaths. It's like okay, people are getting old and dying, but I was
Yeah.
like, I just wanted to come home and like regroup. Also, are we live? I need to blow my nose. I don't know what to do
Yeah,
in this
blow your
situation.
nose, do your thing. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just came back to like help my dad clean up my grandmother's house and just like, be with family. I know it's
Sure.
still the pandemic, so I felt really bad, but I was also like I waited purposely like past the rush of Christmas and everything because I was like hopefully
Yeah.
it's like less risky now.
Yeah, no,
So,
don't feel guilty over that, Like we all have to see our family at some point. We all have to see our friends at some point. There's no point in guilt tripping yourself over that shit. There are going to be people who find it their duty to be political about this kind of shit and they want to guilt trip you about it. Don't listen to that. You're there for
yeah.
your family right now. Stay present and be present for your family.
Yeah, definitely. And I've definitely been trying to like remember that and like avoid it because I could definitely use this
Yeah.
opportunity to like do comedy or something because there's like so many
Yeah.
stages. But I'm like, no, I'm just here for my family, focus, and
Yeah.
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 But it's been cool. I
Wow.
mean, it's crazy, but
Yeah. I mean, is it like, do you find it nourishing in any way to be there with everybody?
yeah, I definitely think, especially because in my apartment in LA, my roommate is like AWOL, never there, so like I'm literally alone
Hmm.
most of the time. So I think it's
Right.
good just to like have someone in the house with you and like see, and also like hug. I'm a really big hugger, so like hugging my
Yeah.
family is so great.
It is. That's
Um,
huge.
and also it's kind of like igniting a fuel. It's also like motivation to be like, okay, like I can never move back here. Like just being here.
Yeah.
Like I love them, but I'm like, okay, I gotta keep going. Like fulfill the
Yeah.
dream. Don't give up.
Yeah. 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 Is that what brought you to LA?
Well, I came for college, but I definitely think after living here and like just being immersed and like learning so much, I was like, I can't go back to how I used to live. Like that's not an option
Okay.
after like seeing the world. And I studied abroad and stuff, and I just feel like the more you see of the world, the more you're like, I can't go back to like my little small
Yes,
town.
for sure. Where did you study abroad?
I went to Italy. I did Florence and then I did Rome as well. But I also
Oh,
was kind of just all over the place.
that
But
sounds. Oh, well, yeah, that's what happens when you go to Europe, right?
yeah,
Yeah, you just hop on a plane and go somewhere like fabulous.
exactly.
Where else did you go while you were in Italy?
I went to wait, like cities wise or like
Yeah,
yeah, I mean pretty much all
any.
the major ones like Naples and
Yeah,
Venice and
yeah.
like I even went to this island Malta for my spring break. That was
Nice.
fun. I was
Yeah.
really and like little cities too, like just because I was really like I was kind of like the study abroad snob who's
Uh-huh.
like I'm here for like the culture. Like I was like really
Yeah.
like I would
Fuck
only
yeah.
speak Italian to people and like people
Yes.
hated that. Um
Fuck that noise. You do you. Yeah. That's cool.
so,
Did you like go outside of Italy?
only like one time really. And I don't even know if I think Malta's technically Italy because I had done another Europe trip where I like did the just see the
Okay.
major stuff and you're just like take your
Sure.
picture, get out of there. Like I had already
Right.
done that trip, so I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
just like let me
Yeah.
immerse myself in the culture and learn things.
That's awesome. I've been to Italy just once, but I stayed in Rome and just for like a few nights and it was mostly like a conference. I didn't really get to explore. But like Italy's such a like massive country like outside of Rome and it's got so much beauty and
Yeah.
like food and culture and like I didn't get to do any of that. So, man, I'm envious. That sounds awesome.
It's so
Yeah.
pretty. But I really was sad like when the COVID was like I mean it was hitting obviously like China and other countries first, but it was like when Italy was like shut down, I was like, oh man, I was like, I know they're suffering because they're like such a like gathering group of people. I was like, oh, they're going through it. Like
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, Italians love like they love to gather, love to eat together, just hang out and talk. They love talking.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I love Italians for that. And yeah, shit. When I was in Rome, like I think the first place they took us out to dinner, there were literally 13 pizzas like in one fucking sitting. It was like first course pizza, second course pizza, and croquettes. Third course, another pizza. I was like, you're trying to murder us with pizza. Like, we're gonna die of pizza. But they were all good. They were great, you know. The
I
wine
love
helped
it.
too. Italy, fucking. I mean, we are social creatures. We do have to meet people and like I like my alone time. I find it
Mhm.
precious. I like to, I figure out things to do and make my time alone very productive for me. But I also notice that, like, I do need to see some people, like, maybe at least once a month, just go out and,
Yeah.
like, go for a hike or something like that. Have you been doing shit like that?
Yeah, I'm not a huge hiker, but I've been a few hikes. I mean, I was doing the outdoor comedy stuff, and then I stopped, and now I see everybody's doing it again. I'm like, "Ugh, I want to do it again, but I'm like, I stopped because when the numbers were like around November, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is not worth it,
Yeah.
and I don't want to
Mm-mm.
encourage it because I know also with comics it could be like, oh, so and so's doing it, so I'm gonna do it. So it's like I didn't want to be part of that
Right.
cycle of like pressuring people to make them feel like
Sure.
they should do it.
Yeah.
But now I'm now that I'm outside, I'm like looking like I want to do it again.
Yeah.
but I like parks, like sitting at parks, and
Yeah,
I was working for a while, so that was kind of my that was it. And then I would just sit at home because I was
that's
working for
right.
people.
Did you study film at USC?
Like I was in the film school, but I was in like a new media program, so mine was more stuff
Uh,
supposed to be like digital stuff. Like actually,
got
people
it.
in my major probably thriving very well during this time because like
Yes.
that's what we
The
studied, like how to
VR,
adapt.
AR, all that shit.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
online content, like this is like what we lived
Yes.
for. So.
You want to know what's crazy? So like the last class that I was a TA in, it was like digital media arts.
Mm,
And so like we were reading all up about like, like performance art, like the museum video installations,
mm.
and like those big galas and biennales where they show like VR, AR kind of stuff. And I kept asking my students, I was like, what's the point of this? Like, what is the purpose, And they had like interesting answers. They were like, oh, maybe for like medicine or maybe for like, I don't know, like conferences, and then that was in the winter. So I was in the winter quarter. So I was like ending the class in March. Pandemic hit. And it all made sense. I was like, now I've seen the light. I get the point. I see the and like around that time fucking like some comedians were like, yeah, like it's gonna get to the point where like we could do a comedy show in people's living rooms through VR AR technology, Instead of selling seats in a theater, we sell seats in the home. And I was just like, right, yeah, shit. Now it's
You're like,
making
sure.
sense.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So, in that sense, it was humbling and enlightening. So, okay, so did you want to do like digital? Did you want to be like a video artist or a digital media artist?
I was in it, and it was kind of weird because I was accepted into this media. I had applied for production. Like, I came wanting to be like director, blah blah blah,
Sure.
make my
Yeah.
money. Like that was my plan. And then like the more I was in school, and the more I was learning, it was like actually I have no clue what I want to do. I was like, I know I
Mm,
like doing. I was like someone who liked doing a lot of things, and I think a lot of people in
yeah.
that major like they attract people who like have a lot of different interests. And
Yes.
so it sucked because I had a lot of different interests. I was around a lot of people who had a lot of different
Yes.
interests, people who were good at a lot of things. So it's like, this is not helping. And then I randomly, I don't know what happened, but I was like, I had tried stand up once in high school. And
Mm.
then, like, was it random time and I never did it again. But I had, like, always liked that moment. And so I was
Mhm.
telling someone about that. And she's like, you're so funny. You should try it. And I was like, well, I'm in LA. So, like, why not? And so then I
Yeah.
started taking, they have, like, USC has, like, comedy minors. So I started, like, taking
What?
I know. People are always shocked by that. And they have it two versions. They have a comedy writing track and they have a comedy performance track. So I didn't officially graduate with either because I was doing both of those tracks and I couldn't get the credits for both. But so I started taking stand up classes and like writing classes and just trying to like do that.
Who
And then I
was
was like,
teaching
okay,
those
but
classes?
like literally my sketch writing we did a whole show. Basically we did SNL as a class and so they had the three different
Okay.
classes. And
Uh-huh.
so my writing professor, which also I sucked, none of my stuff ever got picked. But anywho, he was really cool. He is the creator of the show Martin. Like the creator of
I
Martin
love
was
that
running my
show.
class. I know. And so I really wanted him to love my stuff and each week he's like, you're not getting it, Alexis. And I was like, okay. Okay. I'm a failure. Him
Okay.
and then the stand-up teachers was Craig Anton, who he's
Okay.
really
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him, he's like obscure, but I always
Yeah.
tell people the dad on Phil the Future. That's his credit
Yeah.
to me. And then Wayne
Yeah.
Fetterman taught the other class.
Okay. Sweet.
I think
Wow.
Judith Shelton teaches one too, but I didn't take it with her. I think she started
Man,
after I went
that's
through it.
wild. Okay. That's
So that was
cool.
random. And then when I graduated, I still was like, this is not a viable career. I was like, I didn't come to
Really?
this expensive school for this because I could already tell in my college years. I was like, there's no way I'm making money from this. So I was like, I need to fix something else. And I
Uh-huh.
graduated. And I still was like, don't know. So I still don't know what I should do for like money. I've been jumping random jobs around. I'm just like hoping this comedy thing pays off one day, or I'll just keep getting random jobs.
But that is part of it, Like I mean, like I was the same way. I I mean, you made fun of me for being a fucking old hag You have every right to. I am a lot older than you are, but like I was the same way, like graduated into a recession in 2009. Luckily,
Oh, dang.
I got like a Fulbright to go to Seoul for a year, so I had a year
Oh,
to
that's
float
sick.
and
You're
just
a
do my own
Fulbright?
thing.
That's a huge. We just need to pause and acknowledge that. Awesome. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so I did that. That was my study abroad because my parents couldn't afford to send me abroad. I wanted to. I had an opportunity to go to France for like a summer, but like they were like, we can't afford it. So I was like, fine. So the Fulbright thing that paid for a year in Seoul, and then I was just like you. Like I was an English major, but I wanted to get into film. I had
Mm.
interned at a theater company where they actually produced a comedy show.
Oh.
One of the comedians being one of my favorite comics of all time, Jessica Kirson, was in that lineup.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so like I had, all this other stuff that and mostly like in my early 20s I was just only dabbling in a million things, but I was doing things. I was writing. I was like,
Mm.
writing fiction. I was um interning in like film curation, film production, and I eventually got a job in film distribution, but hated that. And it's
Ooh.
like I think the in your 20s you have every right to explore as many things as you want, you know as freely as you want. I think that's like how you figure it out you know
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
I
your
can figure
major
that out.
matters.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't. I think just for me in LA, like going to USC, no matter what school, it just helps get you in some doors. Just because, like that, they have a thing called like the Trojan Mafia, and like that mess is real. Like I've definitely
Hmm.
gotten jobs just because, like, oh, USC, cool, yeah, you're hired. I'm like, wow.
Yes. Yeah, my friend, I mean, I'm a Bruin. I mean, no offense.
You.
Um, I'm wearing my UCLA sweatshirt.
Ah, I should have worn
Um,
something.
yeah, so I, uh, I have a friend. She's a colleague, but she didn't finish the program. I'm in the cinema media studies program for my graduate degree, but she didn't finish, and she went to CAA. And she says like when she looks at the directory, it's like all USC, 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 USC. Yeah, and I was like, are there any Bruins? She's like, yeah, they're like old geezers, like a couple names, but they're all like straight up USC. And I was like, God damn. So, but that's what you paid for. That's the expensive education that you paid for. You paid for that network, and that's an
Yeah.
investment.
No, for sure. And I mean, luckily I don't actually pay for it that much, but hey, that's cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it is. I think USC does a good job at like looking out for their own. I think they're good at that. Yeah. I'm not sure if UCLA is as good as USC in that regard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess probably just everyone's like, you probably need this job because you have all this debt, so let me help you." Like, I know what
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Well, I mean, are you working on anything in terms of like what you want to do, like break into showbiz? Like, did you write a script, like TV pilot, like anything like
Y-
that?
Yeah, I wrote a Dave spec. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna write this Dave spec. I'm gonna put it on Twitter. Lil Dicky's gonna find it. He's gonna be like, "Hey, you need to come work for me." That didn't happen.
Hmm.
I also learned after I wrote the spec that people are like, "You shouldn't write specs for the show you want to be on because they don't like to read the specs of their show." But I was like,
Mm.
"Too late. I've already written this."
It's still
But
practice. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's cool. And I honestly hate that there's like this thing where everyone says stop writing specs to like write original pilots. But for me, to do a comedy, I feel like that's dumb because you need to learn how to write you need to write other characters. Like if it's established world, you need to know how to write the jokes for that person. So it's like, what
Yeah.
is me writing an original pilot? Like, how does that prove I could work in a room? I don't know. It's dumb to me. So I like writing specs, but I think I have to work on an original if I actually want to get in
Uh huh.
anywhere, which is kind of
Yeah.
dumb.
I think writing specs is, at the end of the day, it's still an exercise, and so you're still like working out that muscle. And writing a spec is still challenging. I don't think writing a spec is easy at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely especially like a spec that like actually like would make sense and like has their voice. I
Mm-hmm.
think it is a challenge, but I think that's a challenge that I feel like is why I want to work in a writer's room is to like try to make like still be funny, but like because it's one thing to do stand up and write jokes for yourself. It's
Yep.
totally different to still be funny, but write jokes from a perspective that's not really yours, but like trying,
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like it's a good thing.
it
Keep your
is.
muscles flowing. I don't know
It
what else
is.
I'm doing. What else am I doing? I don't know. What do I do all day? I don't know. I'm also like I want to like I feel like I've been trying to so hard to like focus on numbers and like growing content and stuff, but now like for March I'm like I just want to focus on like being funny again because I feel like that's where I saw success before. Like before the pandemic, I feel like I was starting to get to like this is where I want to be. And
Yeah.
I think I only got there cuz I like stopped caring about anything except being funny. Like I was like let's focus on being funny and the rest will
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's my new outlook.
I think that happens a lot. Especially like right now, it's like such a disorienting time because everybody's stuck inside, and it's like, what do you do? What do I do? Like before, I would drive somewhere and I would get on stage. That's what I did
Yeah.
every day, and now it's like I don't get to do. What do I do? So we do the content thing. That's a lot of work,
So much
and
work.
you stop writing. So you're like, oh, I got to do this shit too. But I think having a writing group is important for that reason right now. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I think being able to meet with other comics and just write stuff out, like having that accountability, having that attention, um, dedicating that time. I think all of that, I think that goes like a long way. I think that's super important. Do you have allergies or a cold? I mean,
It's allergies.
yo,
No,
it's
and it
real.
sucks. I feel bad, and also like I didn't take anything today, but like for example, like when I got on the plane and like when I go back, I like took. I never take medicine, which is its own problem. But like for the plane, I was like taking everything because I was like I don't want people to think that I'm like sick. Because like
Yeah.
a lot of the allergy, my symptoms for allergies are a lot of the COVID symptoms, and so I'm like I have to. I was like taking like I took like two inhalers and an allergy pill. I was like, I don't want any kind of suspicion
Yeah.
arising.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
It's
sucks.
real. Yeah. Yeah, definitely get on that Claritin Benadryl, train because I generally don't have allergies, but like since a couple days ago I've been feeling it. Like I went on a hike. I was sneezing, sniffling the whole time. I was like, this is
Ooh.
weird. And then yesterday I got hit with a migraine, sinuses, all of that. I was like, okay, like it's on. It's fully on.
And I was like, it's spring. Spring's coming. March.
Spring is here. It's fucking March. Yeah, it's happening. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think things will open back up soon, and I think we'll be okay. Like um, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
think
forward to that.
it'll be weird. I don't know. I'm looking forward to things opening up, but I also think I don't know. LA comics are it's already a weird thing, and then now add this, and I just like it's gonna be so weird. I don't know. Like people are
Yeah,
crazy.
it took a pandemic for me to like feel attached to LA. You know,
Yeah,
like,
because you're being like distance makes the heart fonder, even though you're like in it. You're like you're not in it.
well, when I left LA for a full year, and I was just like traveling, like all over, that was a great year. I had a lot of fun that year. And I was like starting to come to peace with LA. It took like 5 years for me to actually like come to peace with LA. And then like the pandemic, the reason why it made me appreciate LA more is because I can drive anywhere and it'll be like I'll find a beautiful spot to like sit outside. That's
Yeah.
Los Angeles. That's the SoCal experience. And I was like, this is a big gift that LA has. Like right now, you know, February, March, like it's like snowstorms everywhere.
Yeah.
Texas is all fucked up, New York's all fucked up, and like I was, you know, driving like driving up a mountain to go for a hike. You know, it's a nice
No,
thing.
that's definitely the appeal. I think that's why, besides trying to get famous, I think that's why so many people move there is for that reason.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you could try and get famous, but if you don't, you could like go sit by a lake and think about your life a little bit. Go see the ocean. Yeah. Do you have like long term goals?
Ooh, and part of me was like, I should ask what we're gonna talk about so I can be prepared.
I mean, if you don't, I mean, I'm just asking like whatever comes to mind, but you don't have to
um,
have anything like that or a short term goal if you have.
Yeah, long-term goal, I want to be like a headliner comic. Like I know some comics do comedy to be writers. I've
Mm,
more so I'm doing the comedy and because I can't do the comedy, that's why I'm trying to do the writing thing, but that's not my like I'm not really trying to be a writer. Like I am because I need to, I guess
mm-hmm.
society
Yeah.
says, but I'm just trying to be headliner
Yeah.
touring. I don't want to be like famous. I just want to have people. I just want enough notoriety and undeniably funniness to like be a headliner, and it doesn't feel like stressful. Because right now,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you get a show, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of stressful because they're like you need like they're not like people aren't like harassing you, but like they want people to watch their show, and it's like I don't
Yes.
have that pool. Like I'm not gonna be able to bring people to watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want that, like a level of pool to where people would come out and pay money to see me, and I can live
Yeah.
and not have to do another job that I hate. That's pretty
Yeah.
much my long term goal.
That's a good goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I share that aspiration as well. Yeah. Cuz yeah, I don't like I mean, I like my job right now. Like I like academia actually.
Hmm.
So I don't mind it. It feels the same to me in a lot of ways, like thinking through jokes, thinking through academic stuff. It feels very much similar, but yeah, it'd be nice to just be on the road and just do theater shows and like if a friend has a movie, just like make like a cameo appearance or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
We're trying to
That's what I
get
say because
there.
people mention acting, and I'm like, I don't really want to. Like, I'm not trying to get an Oscar, but like you said, a cameo or just like something, a silly little
Yeah.
character, like that kind of acting, I'd be into. But like, I know I respect acting as an art, and I know that I don't want to do that. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it. Ac
100%.
That's funny you said
Yeah.
about academia because I feel that way. Like part of me, especially when I graduated and like didn't know what to do, I was like, should I just go back to school? Because
Mm.
I do like school and I find that similarity as well of like discussing and like learning, and I think it makes
Yeah.
comedy better like when you're smart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe if I don't figure out, maybe I'll look into PhD programs
You
and figure
should.
it out.
I think doing a PhD is like a really good way to do comedy actually because you travel a lot as an academic because there are conferences every year. And like there was one year when I did like something like 5 conferences and I was in like 5 different cities all over the world and I did comedy in every single one.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like during the day, you go to school and you think, you read, you talk, and your mind is like working. And then at night, you go and hit a mic, and it's like it's no better, no better period of my life. Like this is my life. It's like at the prime. I mean, not right. I mean, even right now, like I don't mind it. It's not
Hmm.
bad. But like last year, the year before that, it was just like the best. Yeah,
No, that sounds
yeah,
great. I think I would just have to figure out what I want to do it for because I feel like also you can't just get a PhD just because you kind of also have to have that interest there or else it'd probably be miserable.
that's true, but I mean, as long as you stay curious, I think that's all it takes. It doesn't matter
Mm.
what you do. Like I did cinema media studies because it's the closest thing to being an English major, but I didn't want to get a PhD in English because I know what happens when you get a PhD in English. You become less viable for a job than like anything. Like so I did cinema media studies because I worked in film production and distribution, and I was like, well, this seems I want to go here, and that was the right move for me. But yeah, as long as you stay open and curious, like I think it's fine. Anybody can do it, and it does take commitment, but plenty of people dropped out of the program too. And it's not
Yeah.
like a loss. That was just their experience up until then. Now they go do something else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
nothing wrong
another.
with
I don't
that.
know if she was in your same program. Well, I don't know if she was at UCLA, but there's this comedian, Ambria Allen. I don't know if she
Hmm.
was at UCLA.
Okay.
But she was doing a PhD. I don't know if she finished it or where she wasn't because I just know now she's like writer, like she writes for all these like shows and like award shows, and I was like that
Oh
seems
wow,
so dope. And I
that
feel
is
like
dope.
I think it definitely helped her with the because she's really smart. Like I sometimes I like that, but I also hate it. Like when people are like, "Oh, you're like a smart comic," it's like I don't know if
Mm.
I like that distinction.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like a Marc Maron type or like a
Yeah.
Harry Kondabolu. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that because like I personally don't enjoy Marc Maron or Harry Kondabolu's comedy really. Like I like Marc Maron's podcast a lot, but I don't really enjoy. And I've seen Marc Maron like live, and like I had a good time, but I don't remember a single joke. Like, you know, because when I see Maron or Harry Kondabolu on stage, I just figure I might as well read a book. You know, like genuinely, that's how I feel. Like I might as well just get a book. Like talk about your dick a little more, or talk about like somebody's asshole. Like make me laugh hysterically. Like that's what I'm there for. But it's like when you're distracted by profound knowledge, it kind of stunts the ability to laugh freely, you know?
Yeah, it
And
would make sometimes can make you feel dumb. I was on a Zoom mic
yes,
yesterday, and someone was talking about some kind of like, not for, albeit I'm ignorant a lot of like the whole Israel Palestine. I know
right,
basic stuff, but I'm very ignorant, and they were going ham on those types of jokes, and I was like, well, now I just feel stupid, so I can't laugh because I'm feeling
right,
self conscious about me not knowing what you're talking about.
right. Yeah.
And I
That
never
makes
want to
sense
be in that
too.
situation. So I'd be
That's
afraid if I got a
that's
PhD, I'd become that person. Like, I don't want to be that
no,
person.
no. That's precisely it. Like, yeah, you don't want to make people feel stupid. You don't want to come off condescending.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it's okay to be profound on stage. I mean, comedy is profound. There's a way to make profundity funny. Profundity is hilarious, like when I was like having my most recent mushroom trip, that's like all you have is like profound thoughts, and a lot of them are hilarious. You know, it's so fucking funny, and I think that's okay. Um, but yeah, I don't think you getting a PhD will make you less funny because you become more intelligent. Like I don't see a correlation. Like I mean, I'm funny, I'm smart. Like I'm not
Hmm.
trying to shoehorn in um like intellectuality into my sets. Sometimes
Yeah,
like it
no.
goes in there to some extent, but I think it's about like making it really efficient, like like slide it in there like a little sliver, like a little razor, but it's still a great big pound cake and you're not going to see that it's in there. I think that's the trick, and it's
Mm.
doable. Plenty of people have done it, and it's hard to do that. I think like if Harry Kondabolu and like Marc Maron just like whittle down their jokes down to the finest piece, then and make it less wordy, then yeah, maybe it'll be just as hilarious.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I definitely think that. And I feel like I've said that before, maybe not to you, but to others. I don't know. But I feel like you're really funny. And I feel like maybe this comes from the PhD, or maybe just you were doing this beforehand. But I feel like you like really get like every like angle. Like I feel like a lot of us, myself included, like we'll just like touch the surface. Like we'll do this joke and we're just like touching. But like
Ah.
you're like, I'm gonna get every part of this thing out of here, and I'm just like, oh god, I want to do that because I feel like I've seen you do 5 minutes on like one thing, and like you don't go off that one topic, and I'm like, how? It's the PhD.
Thanks. I don't think that's a PhD. Tig Notaro, she's not really formally educated. Like she didn't really. I think she barely graduated high school. I think she just got her GED. But that's what Tig Notaro does. She takes one topic and she uses every part of that. She uses every bone, like a buffalo with a Native American, just like every piece, and finds a way to do it. And I love that ability. I think it's just like same thing as staying curious. You just stay curious. You stare
Hmm.
at it long enough and you get to see all the angles and you get to see all the things. It's doable and it's
Yeah.
fun, you know? Um, yeah, that was like the fun thing we talked about like the other day in the writing group. Like when Diana was just like riffing on something and it just started and Kadi was just like, I mean, like she's like, oh, I admire those people who have like one long joke. And it's like, well, this is the start to it. Like you riff on something, you see the signposts, and then
Mm.
you only collect the signposts, and then it's like whatever. Let's say you were riffing for 5 minutes. If you just take the signpost, that's like 30 seconds probably of the joke, and then it's like refilling that part in through the writing and adding the tags, and then you build it back up to 5 minutes. But now it's like cold hard steel, like can't penetrate. It's just like a full on excellent joke, right? Yeah. So it's writing. Yeah, and that's what you are. You're a writer. So comedy's all
Ooh,
about writing, right? That's how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah. No, you're
Yeah.
right.
There's some
Oh,
comics who are like Bobby Lee, like he was saying, like, oh, I feel like comedy is performance, you
mm,
know. And in his case, that's true. He doesn't write, you know. Like I went to see him live. Like I wanted to see Bobby Lee just doing his whole set live. So I drove down to fucking Irvine
oh wow.
and watched it and by myself. You know, like
Commitment. Wow.
everybody's like a couple. They're like staring at each other, sharing pretzels, googly eyes. I'm sitting there by myself with a beer and I'm like watching Bobby Lee do his thing. And he was doing jokes that he'd done like 15 years ago that I heard like, on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
like, ah, shit, okay. But, he admitted, he was like, I'm not a writer. I'm a performer. And he does
Mm,
bring it. He brings the energy and like that's a big component, But for me, like I'm very like reserved and sarcastic and dry, and so my writing has to be tight. Yeah.
no, that's definitely true.
It's need based as well.
And this is random, but I just realized, should I have been looking in the camera? Because I've been looking at you, but I feel like you're looking in the camera, which I'm like, maybe I should have been looking there this whole
Uh,
time.
it's okay.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Um,
Nothing matters. Yeah.
Nothing matters. Yeah, we're all gonna die. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get into flashcard questions. I have some flashcard
Ooh, oh,
questions. All right.
exciting.
All right. So the show I'm talking about in this episode is called Master's Son, and it's about a woman who sees ghosts, and she falls in love with a guy. Um, so yeah, it's like a rom com ghost.
Oh, she falls in
Super.
love with the ghost guy.
Oh no, she sees ghosts. He doesn't see any ghosts. Um, but she falls
And
in
she
love with
falls in love
him.
with it.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been interesting if she's a ghost and she
I was
fell
making
in love with
sure.
it. That's a good show. You should write that show. I
That's
would
the
watch it.
spin-off.
That's the spin-off of Master Son. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So let's say you're this woman who can see ghosts, all right? And the
Mhm.
ghosts know that you can see them.
Mm.
So they're always coming to you, asking you to do favors for them. But like that keeps putting you in danger. It puts you in
Mm.
precarious situations. And the ghosts scare you as well. They look freaky.
Ooh.
So like, but you keep seeing them, so people in society think you're crazy, all right? And
Ah,
they
okay.
they won't hire you. You keep getting fired from jobs. Like this is making your life miserable. What do you do?
Mm. Ah, this is hard. I think, I don't want to say kill myself, but that might be what it comes to. I think very
Wow.
precarious. Um,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, what else could I do?
Wow.
I could move
Check
to the
out early and
country.
and join them, become a
Yeah,
ghost yourself.
I think that's
Wow.
what they want if they won't leave me alone.
Okay.
Alternate answer, hire someone to, do some spiritual stuff, keep the ghost away. I don't know if it's
Uh-huh.
uh, Mom, I'm on a
It's okay. It's all right. Okay. Yeah.
Anywho, I heard it coming. Like I heard the dogs barking. I was like, she's gonna walk back here. I felt it in my spirit, even though I told her I was on this call. Anywho.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the alternate answer you said?
Maybe hire an exorcist. I know I'm not
Okay.
possessed, but maybe they can somehow help.
Like a
They would I feel like
Ghostbuster.
yeah, I feel like they would believe me. Everyone else thinks I'm
Yeah.
crazy, but I'm like, hey, there's
Yeah.
some stuff
Some
happening.
spiritual beings. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I like those answers. Okay. So let's say you're this handsome, wealthy son of a gun who owns a massive shopping establishment. You love money. You're a
Ooh.
greedy capitalist, okay? And you're good at making money. And
Mm.
one day you meet this woman who just grabs you by the arm. And she says that whenever she touches you, she stops seeing ghosts. So she keeps touching you. What do you do?
Is this the story of the show? Because I'm into this. I want to watch it now.
It is.
Oh, that's sick. Wow. So that's me. She's seeing ghosts. I don't know if I'm making money. Part of me, first thought, we need to get you on TV. We need to, get some money out of this. We need to sell your story. I I think this is
Yeah.
very lucrative. So that's my first thought.
Yeah.
But she capped. Do I like this woman? I like her.
Not yet. Like, you just encountered her.
I'm not in
Okay.
love with her. She's not. Well, okay. We're just saying
Not
she
yet.
touches me. She grabs me, and
Like,
she's
out
like,
of nowhere, she just touches you. Yeah. It's like, that Jesus
oh,
and the cloak story. Like, this
mm,
woman just touches Jesus' cloak and
it
she feels
touches
healed.
you.
It's like that.
Except I'm not Jesus. I'm a little freaked out. I'm a little freaked out. I'm a little
Yeah, this
scared.
woman, she's like, I see ghosts, but when I touch you, I stop seeing them.
I mean, yeah, maybe restraining order, but try to get that TV deal in there first, because I do
Okay, okay.
think there's some money involved.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's some good IP. Okay, got it, got it. All right. So okay, you're the same rich boy. Okay,
Okay.
you have this past trauma from your childhood. Okay,
Oh.
you and your childhood girlfriend were kidnapped and held at ransom. All right, for this diamond necklace that costs like $10 million. And you watched your girlfriend die in front of you, all right? Because something went awry.
Oh my
Your
God.
girlfriend burned in a car and died, and you watched her die. You couldn't rescue her. This ghost-seeing lady tells you that she can see your dead girlfriend wandering around you. What do you do?
Oh my. Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna need to know where I can watch this after. Okay. Anywho, focusing. I'm thinking a seance. I probably want to talk to Oh Girl. She's walking around
Uh-huh.
me. What
Yeah.
gives? Yeah, maybe a
Yeah.
seance. Let's try to get me to talk with her. Or maybe
Yeah.
you could just tell me what she's saying if you're hearing her. I don't know if we have to do a
Yeah.
seance. It seems like you know
Right.
what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I assume part of me still loves her,
Yeah.
because she died. We didn't get to close that chapter, so
Right.
I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk to her.
Okay, find out what it's about, what the deal is.
Hmm.
Okay, good. All right. So you're the same rich handsome guy.
Hmm.
All right. You're starting to like this ghost seeing lady. All right. You're starting to dig her. Of course. And you find yourself depending on her a lot, okay? But there's this studly, handsome, young, sprightly security guy who keeps hanging out with her. And you keep
Oh.
seeing them together. What do you do?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm a little defensive because, like, hey, can he stop the ghosts from you? I don't think so, okay? Why are you wasting your time with this guy? He can protect you in this world, but I protect you in the metaphysical, okay? So you need to stick with me. I don't know why you're wasting your time.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I would put a hit out on him. I don't know if that's the right answer.
Okay.
Get rid of the competition. I got money to
Wow.
blow.
Yeah. Man,
No.
you're ruthless. Yeah.
Maybe I'd try to set him up with someone else. Like, maybe like, hey, there's this other girl. It's
Yeah.
not my
Yeah.
lady. That could
Okay.
help.
Distract him with another lady. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's say you're this ghost seeing lady now, okay? The rich CEO guy, he gets into an accident. Something happens, and when he wakes up from his accident, he can't remember who you are. No idea. Can't remember you. Lost all his memory. Never can't remember ever meeting you. Nothing. All right? And he starts hanging out with a really hot rich lady. But you love this guy. What do you do?
Oh, wait, what? I mean, I feel like I should have been there to tell him, like, show him some pictures of us. Like, remember we went to this place and like we had so much fun. Um, is his memory going back to childhood, or it's just like the past? Like he forgot our time, or like does he remember his dead girlfriend, like the
Like, he
old
can't
girl?
remember the last like several months.
Copy.
So,
So maybe I would just try to, do what I did before. It worked the first time. I'm like,
okay.
hey, when I touch you, I don't see ghosts anymore.
Uh-huh.
That'd be my
Okay.
strategy. Try to
All right.
recreate what we had.
Yes. All right. All right. And try to bring it all back.
Hmm.
Okay. Got it. All right. Very good. That wraps up our flashcard series.
Ooh, where can I
Yeah.
watch this show?
Look it up on this site called Viki.
Vicky.
Viki. Viki. Uh, Netflix used to have it. I don't think they have it anymore, but you could check and see. I don't think it's there, but Viki
Mm-hmm.
definitely has it. I think you could watch it free with ads. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yay. I'm gonna look that up.
It's called Master's Son. It's a good show. Uh, the women who wrote it, they're this like sister duo. They're very famous for writing fun shows together. Anyway, it was lovely talking to you.
This was great.
Folks, next week I'm going to talk about a really, really old school drama called All About Eve. It is very, very retro, but when I was in middle school, I liked this show. I thought it was fantastic. Sadly, most of the people on this show are not really well known, but there is one character on this show who everybody knows because she is the star of Penthouse, and I'll get into that. I'll talk about that next week, okay? She is amazing. She's fucking amazing. So I'm really excited to talk about that next week. You guys, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for your listenership. I really genuinely appreciate all of your support and your love and your fandom. I am still taking requests for show coverages. If there are certain Korean dramas that you'd like me to talk about, please email me at kdramaschool@gmail.com. You can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at kdramaschool. And you guys, like I said, if you want to donate a couple bucks so that I could finish this goddamn movie, please do so. My GoFundMe campaign is online and it is on my website, kdramaschool.com. It's inside the episode 26 page, so please visit that and click on the link and donate. And folks, subscribe to my YouTube channel. What the hell? I ask you guys to subscribe every single week and like nobody does it and it bums me out. Please subscribe. I mean, that's very important to me. It is. Thank you. I love you. Take care. I'll see you all next week.